Here's Brian Staley starting a war again. This is what happens when Brian Staley talks his bullcrap to people their job is to debunk conspiracy theories. They're not going to get fooled. Brian is not going to fool them because these people are in touch with their reality. Brian will never have the answers that the truth community wants to hear. Brian only brings confusion to his group of minions that I consider them brainwashed, and they will never be able to get on the changes. Now he's sticking his nose and has no idea about the Supreme Creator limitations and what his powers and incredibly powerful abilities that he has, that he moved us from planet A to planet B in a blink of an eye.
Been rocking.
In a blink of an eye.
About le stupid Mandela effect. No, I mean, here's the thing. I'm calling it stupid because I get frustrated. I really don't care what other people are researching, and I like when people research things out of the box. Okay? What I don't like is Brian Staley thinking that he needs to yell every day and tell other people what they need to do on their channel. I'll do it on my channel what I want to do, and you're not going to force me to cover something like the Mandela effect. And I'll explain to you why I don't cover it. Mandela effects, they're stupid.
Let me show you this, for example. You have Joel Osteen talk about God, you know. You have T.D. Jakes talk about God.
So he felt the need to make this video. When two flat earthers argue too much, they start speaking of people that never existed. Okay, so let me just explain to you how dumb this is to me, because I don't understand the belief. And Brian, make a video or whatever you got to do, or contact me, because you haven't explained it. Nobody has. Explain to me what you're saying. So because people like myself think it was Joel Osteen, or that's what we thought it was originally, but now it's Joel Osteen. So what is happening? What do you think happened? Does Joel Osteen think his name used to be Osteen or not? If he doesn't, then what you're saying is that when changes are made, the people who they're made to have their brains changed. What about the school he went to? What about the children he grew up with? What about brothers and sisters? What about teachers? What about sports coaches? What about people at the seminary? What about people? Okay, so all those people, do they remember Osteen or Osteen? Because guess what? I'll bet you any amount of money they remember Osteen. Okay? And if let's say they did remember Osteen, which would just be weird, why doesn't he? So here's the thing. You guys think you're some sleuths or something. You're figuring all this stuff out, yet you admit that whoever's doing it is changing the minds of the people involved, but forgetting to change your mind. Literally, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Give me a break. This is what happens, though. This is what is meant when they say the American public will no longer believe anything, is because you've essentially now made people think that reality itself is changing to a ridiculous degree. You're basically saying because RV and I referred to him as Joel Osteen, that we're Mandela affected, which means the Mandela effect is real. No, sorry. Sorry that we didn't know his name. Supernatural world where only I can figure these things out, and the actual person who had their fucking name changed doesn't notice? Think that somebody can supernaturally change IDs, birth certificates, paperwork, schoolwork. He did go to school. Joe Osteen is a person. He went to school, probably 1st through 12th grade like everybody else. If we went to his teachers, what do you expect them to say? What do you think? What? I don't even understand I don't even understand the theory. What is it that you would think they would say? Because both of them don't work for me. If they say his name is Joel Osteen, then either his name is Joel Osteen, or whoever's changing things is changing the minds of humans on Earth, changing their memories. And if that's possible, then why would you believe your memories? For whatever memories you believe in was put there by the same person, or the same group, or same entity. So you understand that's a paradox. You can't believe that. So if you think they would say his name is actually Joel Osteen, then where does the line get drawn? When we go to him, does he say the same thing? Oh, that's weird. My name used to be Joel Osteen. Now, of course not. Of course, the man who it is spelling his name as it's always been spelled. Unless you're saying that these supernatural changes that change Monopoly boxes and change Chick-fil-A billboards and all this stuff, does the changing of those things, I guess you think those things happen in reality. It's just, to me, it's silly. there might be something to it that's important to research. That's why I love people researching. It's very easy for me to send people to Brian. Oh, Mandela effect, Brian's a man. Go there, go there, go there. But I'm not going to listen to Brian sit there and yell about how we need to make this the most important thing that there is, and we need to all talk about it on our channel. Who the fuck are you, Brian? Who the fuck are you to tell me what I do? Have I ever told you what you can do on your channel?
Videos
Didn't think
and
so.
see the evidence and residue. The denial by flat earthers
Here we go.
is moving into the realm of liars.
Oh, now he's going to call me a liar.
They are all affected, yet
What difference does it make if somebody's affected? It doesn't make the Mandela effect real. You're saying that because some of us remember Joel Osteen's name incorrectly, that therefore the name has been changed in reality? Do you realize that's like borderline psychotic belief?
belligerently denying and starting to label it a psychological disorder.
Well,
Those following Owen Benjamin have a psychological disorder.
why?
Owen Benjamin focuses on sodomy. I think there's a typo there. That's what he meant to type. He wrote Owen Benjamin.
Oh, he's reading it. I thought he was saying these things.
Maybe he does this while focusing on sodomy. It's stupid and gross. Now, this isn't the only message like this I get. I get them from everybody.
From
Listen,
everybody.
people, I'm fucking sick of it.
I get him from
Viewers are
everybody.
sick of it. The people in your chats are sick of it. And this
Well,
isn't about Owen Benjamin.
it's
That's
too
what
bad.
this message is about. And you guys know my issues with him. There's so many of you, though. It's not just Owen. It's literally the large majority of the flat earth community is gatekeeping people from getting to the next level.
The next level is when you realize that Monopoly board changes. Okay? That's the next level. No, it does nothing. Mandela effect really literally does nothing, because what you're saying is that reality is changing. If reality is changing, then you being the researcher, your mind might change. And if your mind can't be changed, how is the mind of the people involved in movies, Ed McMahon, how are all these people's minds being changed? Same thing with like Desi Arnaz. Okay? You can't actually think that some supernatural force is changing the man's name. Let me tell you what somebody said to me today, and this is when I realized, you know what? Fuck, this is actually going worse than I thought. Somebody I was talking to today told me that they used to be 5'6.5". Now they're 5'7", and they think it's a Mandela effect. Kid you not. Kid you not. I said, excuse me? They said, oh yeah, I used to be 5'6.5". I know for a fact I was 5'6.5", and now I'm 5'7", and I think it's a Mandela effect. I almost hung up on the person. It was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. But where are they getting this from? They watch Brian. So they think that their height is changing now. So if it's true, then what doesn't change? How do I know I lived at the address my head tells me I did when I was a kid? How do I know the things I know? If we allow Mandela effect to be something that we think is actually happening and changing reality, then we should all hang up our research boots immediately. Immediately. And I don't want to do that. So what do? I cover the things I want to cover on my channel, and you cover the things you want to cover on your channel. That's not difficult. That's actually easy. But I keep having to hear this guy. I watch his show. I watch Brian's show. And every fucking episode, he's got to go into this diatribe about, oh, you big name flat earthers that deny it.
I can't say this doesn't affect them.
Here we go.
I want you to bombard all the comment sections of all these channels.
Oh, that's good. Now he's telling you to come to my channel and bombard me. That's fucking bullshit. Okay? You think I want to be part of this community? Because I don't want to cover the Mandela effect, which is fucking garbage to me?
That refuse to talk about this.
Wasn't it better, Brian, when I just kept my mouth shut? Wasn't it better? I think it was better.
Or call it a psyop. Or act like it's insignificant.
It's insignificant.
The land masses of the earth are in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people say that they're all about God. They're about the Bible. Well, the Bible's changing.
Well, the Bible isn't written by God, so it shouldn't be surprising that the Bible
won't address
changes.
that. They can say it's not. Will they do a live quiz with me on video with their hands in front of them so they can't Google? I'll ask them to fill in some verses.
And what difference does that make? What difference does it make to go back and find things that people remember wrong, then show them that they remember it wrong, and then say, haha, reality's been changing. Somebody goes to all your Bible books and changes it. I mean, do you realize the disconnect here? Do you realize where you fall off the track? So if you think I'm wrong, and that Joel Osteen did have his name changed, and that he did have his memory wiped, and that his teachers do remember the old name or whatever, then I don't understand why I need to cover it. There's not that much of it that you can't handle it. Why would you just sit on your channel every day and say the same thing over and over again about you big name flat earth channels that keep denying this? No, I'm just keeping my mouth shut. I'm just covering my shit and you cover your shit.
And if it's ones they're not familiar with, they can pass. You can pass.
I mean, it bothers me of what the actual belief is. Does Brian Staveley believe that people's Bibles in their homes have some sort of angel of death that passes over it and the text changes? Is that what we're supposed to believe? Because I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
Just like every single person in this truth movement that says this isn't real, they're getting fucking embarrassed, and we're going to step it up.
Step it up, bro.
Because they're
Step it up.
completely in the way of truth now.
Yeah, I'm a gatekeeping the Mandela effect. By sending people to you, I'm gatekeeping.
Anybody that tells you this is just a psyop by now in 2022 is either controlled opposition or a fucking idiot.
So you see what I'm saying? You think that shit sits well with me? Say it to my face, Brian. Dare you.
I feel like I'm one of the only ones sounding the fucking alarm here.
Well, I should tell you something. If we didn't know that, Lucy, you have some explaining to do. Like, if that didn't change, or are these the most insignificant garbage details that wouldn't matter in anybody's life except for this bullshit life where people think celebrities are important? Who cares what some pastor's last name is? Who cares what was said in a 1950s sitcom? Who gives a shit what the character of a Monopoly board, whether he wore an eyeglass or not? Okay? Who gives a shit that a man-made, man-written book has changes in it? What do you expect? What do you expect? Oh, I knew Brian was poking the bear all the time. He always makes these stupid comments, acts real tough. Like, oh, these truthers better listen to me. You better do the things I say to do. Nah, I'll pass. This community fucking is garbage. Some of us just don't care about the Mandela effect. We don't see it as important, period. And guess what? I have every fucking right to decide what I see as important, okay? Not you. You don't dictate to me what I research and fucking report on. Who the fuck is Brian Staveley? Fucking sawed-off midget.
I'm surrounded by a clown show that calls himself the fucking truth movement.
Wow, this community is such garbage. It couldn't just be fine that you research what you research and I got to go calling people clowns when you're the one believing that people's names have changed. Magically, names are changing, last names. Magically. And just going back in time and changing all their paperwork and all their schoolwork. And what an amazing place we live in where things change like that. And how do you not realize if things change like that, then how do you know your memories haven't changed? How do you know somebody's not fucking with you? You obviously believe you are the only memory that matters. And I tell you, I built a memory for myself, told the story over and over again, and then found out how wrong I was. And that was like a shocking moment to me. Ever since, as far back as I can remember, when anybody talked about 9/11, where were you? Where were you? I told the story. I was leaving my mom's house, driving to work. I worked at 3. I can remember being in the car. I can remember listening to the radio. I remember pulling in my spot, everything. Told that story over and over again to people. Told it on my channel many times. So one day I was telling the story. My sister was there, and I was telling the story, and she's like, wait, you were driving from mom's house? And I said, yeah. She goes, no, you weren't. I was like, yeah, I slept there. But she goes, no, you lived with dad. And I said, no, okay, well, maybe I lived with dad, but I stayed at mom's house at night. She goes, no, we had moved. I'm like, what? So go back and look and think and talk. And I was like, oh, shit, my mom and sister moved from that house that my memory tells me I drove from like 2.5 months before September 11th. So nobody lived on that side of town. There's no way I was coming from that way to work. It means that I was coming from the other direction, which means the memory in my mind of the direction I was driving, what's on the radio pulling into work, is completely wrong. It's fabricated. Okay? Now, if my sister never pointed that out, but let's say somebody told me, I don't know, that they saw me coming the other way. Oh, that's weird. On September 11th, the morning of September 11th, I saw you over by here. And I'd call them a liar. So what do you think? Your memory is better than mine? Well, in this case, somehow I had built in improper memory. So I'm not saying that's what it is. I believe in the Mandela effect. Okay, as far as there being an undescribed kind of, whether it's Akashic records, whether it's a morphic resonance, I'm not really sure what it is. I do think it probably has a lot to do with pop culture. For instance, if one person came to school and said, if you build it, they will come, then everybody at that school would start saying that, and that would just become it. Like, Brian, what do you consider proof of what? He doesn't bring enough evidence for me to adopt this Mandela effect because of song word changes. The other day I heard a show, who will save your souls? And he was saying it's a Mandela effect, that now it's souls and it used to be soul. Get out. Get out. This community, I swear to God, do you guys understand being hypocrites? Do you understand at all that you can't demand things from people but not expect that from yourself?
It's Mandela. You sound like a bunch of school kids. Mandela effect deniers are liars.
Here we go.
You don't like it? Fucking suck on it.
Mm-hmm.
Stand for truth, not for popularity, not for your subs, not for your ego, not for none of that. Stand for the fucking truth. And if people don't like that you're covering that this is happening,
it's not.
Well, too bad. Too bad at the very least. Stop poo-pooing this. Stop calling it a psyop.
Sorry that you don't get to decide what I believe.
Time to admit that you guys were cowards. You guys were scared of it, and you were wrong. You were wrong.
You're right.
You guys won't.
Reality's changing.
You know why? Because, well, everybody's watching. All eyes.
I just wrote a whole story here on my paper, and it changes this
now. We're getting hit by the media.
It was a whole book.
We're getting hit by people trying to make the bunk pieces, and we're getting more and more traffic. People are unsubscribing from some of your platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe to mine instead.
Sure they are.
I've never asked for that. I get emails all the time.
Sure you do.
Mandela effect by these people. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I'm
Tons of emails.
unfollowing them, and I'm gonna subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, I
I get this
bet.
type of stuff all the time.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Thank
Fucking
you.
liar.
Okay.
This guy calling other people liars and then telling flat out fucking lies like that.
They keep recycling
Unbelievable.
the same shit. These people are literally recycling the same shit for years.
And you're not? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't care who this triggers. Come at me, bro. Seriously.
Coming at you.
You'll get fucking embarrassed.
Embarrass me.
Eviscerated.
Embarrass me. Embarrass me that you've taught a bunch of people
Quit
that
the
reality
lying.
is changing.
That's what you
Fucking
people are
jerk.
doing.
Oh, yeah, I'm lying.
You're lying
Yeah.
and misleading.
Yeah.
Huge truth movement, because there's so many people
Yeah, sure.
in the flat earth movement. This goes for the media fakery guys as well.
It's all an ego thing, man. You must
The
have
9/11
ego.
guys from back in the day.
Everybody look at me, please look at my channel, please. Jaron, not enough people are looking at my channel. I need you to talk about it so that people come look at my channel. Fuck you.
Laugh and snicker at me, and I hear things. People send me clips from other shows.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are a joke too. You guys are a joke too. I've been putting this in your face for years, and you deny this.
Oh, it's so real.
I've shown you all the facts.
Monopoly guy has a
I've
monocle.
shown all the people.
And if the whole world doesn't find out about his monocle right now, we're going to be in trouble. Oh, we are going to be in trouble. If people don't know that Joel Osteen used to be Osteen and now is Osteen, fuck, this world is in trouble. We have to get this truth out. It's the most important truth that there ever. It's going to change the world when people realize that their minds can be changed, that their last name might have been something different. They wouldn't remember because it's been changed. They might find some residue or something. No, yeah, embarrass me, Brian. Go ahead, try it. Try and embarrass me while you have a ridiculous belief that I don't mind you researching. I don't mind you looking into. I think there are some unexplainable Mandela effects. I think that others are clearly garbage. Many of them are garbage. Anything with anybody's last name is garbage. Anything with a movie change, garbage. No, Dolly had braces. No, she didn't. She had braces. Who the fuck cares?